So we have some massive news in regards to Xbox and Microsoft mainly, and their next big acquisition outside of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. That's right, can they get an even bigger acquisition coming through the pipeline of Microsoft? There's a lot of details here and a lot of big business ideas from analysts across Yahoo and other industries. Let's get into everything that's being talked about because Xbox and Microsoft could be in the forefront of getting even more technology behind their systems. Alright, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. So I have to admit, this isn't just gaming. This isn't just surrounding gaming and what Microsoft and Xbox can do. This is surrounding a big business idea that some analysts has been talking about for some time now. And in fact, they put their best foot forward to talk about Microsoft potentially buying one of the biggest companies, one of the most popular companies in the tech industry, which is Netflix. That's right, you heard me right, Netflix. You know, the people that made Stranger Things and all the streaming services in the world. They kind of changed the world when it comes to consuming your media from a show and movie perspective. And they've been going strong for a very long time. But now, as things are starting to heat up and they're starting to get more competition around Netflix, it's looking like Microsoft and Xbox or somebody from the tech industry might be looking to grab them and expand the technologies they already have in their ecosystem. Here's what's mentioned in the article. Indeed, Microsoft is actually teaming up with Netflix per an announcement a couple of days ago for Netflix's new, more affordable ad-supported streaming tier. Microsoft was picked as the exclusive ads marketplace and technology partner for the new service. It'll be another feather in the cap of Microsoft's growing ads business, which is no slouch at $10 billion in revenue last year, although it pales in comparison to the likes of Google, up over $160 billion for the same period. In any case, one analyst speaking to Yahoo Finance claimed that the partnership betrayed a possible longer goal, namely an exit for Netflix, which has been struggling to diversify its revenue streams and find new growth as of late. A decline in subscribers saw a mass investor exodus over the past year, with Netflix's share price taking an absolute battering with its peak at 690 points all the way down to 177 points. Lauren Martin, Needham's senior analyst, had this to say about the partnership. It could be that Netflix is looking for an exit. Netflix is trying to get closer to Microsoft in hopes that after Microsoft digests its Activision acquisition, it turns and buys Netflix next. Okay, so there's a lot of things to talk about here, but I want to focus more on the gaming, and I'll talk about the business aspects of this later. Right now, as for gaming, Netflix has been jumping into that ecosystem. They've been making a lot of games. I've actually played a couple of their games, which, surprise, when I launched those games, it says Netflix when you turn it on. I know, that seems a little bit weird, but overall, it's all about the cloud streaming to them. Netflix has all of their games right there on your app, on your phone or your tablet that you can just instantly stream, and it's just part of the subscription that you already pay for. They're giving this so they can expand and get into more technologies. And if that happens with somebody as big as Netflix, you better believe that Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Apple, everybody else around the industry, including PlayStation, are paying attention because that might be another publisher that they have to compete with. Not to mention, they have to compete with that publisher to get talent to make games. Because every game being made by Netflix is somebody talented that can make a game being driven and paid by them instead of being driven and paid by Microsoft. So that's the only turn that I can see through Xbox. But it does expand what XCloud can do, and it can expand what happens with Microsoft in the potential buyout, which is what Martin talks about right here. Martin reportedly suggests that it's only Microsoft who could foot the potential $100 billion valuation for Netflix once the Activision Blizzard deal closes, while also navigating regulatory approval. For sure, many other companies who would be able to grab Netflix, such as Amazon or Google, already have large video streaming services of their own. Now, this is where the business idea comes into place, because if you look at what Xbox has comparatively to every other big business out there like Google, Amazon, Apple, is that they have Game Pass. They have a massive Xbox ecosystem with 50 to 100 million people playing on it every single day. So when you look at all those numbers and you look at all those active users, you take that and put Netflix users on top of it, you are almost doubling or tripling your profit, not to mention your user base and active users on your ecosystem. That's the whole point of this, because Amazon, Google, Apple, all the big ones already have a streaming service. Google has YouTube, Amazon has Prime Video, Apple has Apple TV, and Disney, even one of the big tech companies out there that is starting to get into tech, is also doing the same thing with Disney Plus. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of companies in the streaming service, yet Microsoft isn't one of them. I think that's a big if of why they might get into it. Not to mention, it's an interesting proposition for Game Pass, which is what's said right here. It's certainly an interesting proposition. Obviously, combining the offering of Xbox Game Pass and Netflix into a single service would give Xbox game developers access to tens of millions of potential new users, providing exposure on a level that is simply unheard of with today's Xbox install base. Netflix already offers a few Android games through its service, but getting Xbox games in there as well would certainly go an extra mile towards popularizing the concept. It would also be a huge platform for Microsoft's ads business, giving it access to many millions more eyeballs that it has available with its current platforms today. Netflix also comes with some high caliber studios of its own, which would lend their creativity to building shows and movies around Microsoft's IP, such as Halo Paramount Plus show. And while it has seen some mixed reactions, seems to be doing well for the service. The interaction between traditional media and video games provides a marketing feedback loop that we're seeing more and more companies show interest in, with many big-name TV shows in the works for franchises like Fallout and The Last of Us. We could see Xbox studios tackle franchises like Stranger Things or Squid Games too. I'm sure we'll also see more Surface devices appearing in Netflix shows as well as a result. And this is where I think people need to understand where it's going. If you look at the Bungie Destiny deal with Sony, if you noticed, a lot of that deal had to do with creating more shows or movies or something in another media outside of the gaming media. That's why Destiny and Bungie wanted to partner with Sony, because they have Sony Pictures where they can take those, make a movie or a show, put it on a streaming service, or put it out into theaters. That's what they wanted to do. Expand on the lore, expand on their games. Look at Riot Games with League of Legends. They brought out that Arcane League of Legends show that's animated on Netflix, which was amazing. And isn't that kind of funny that Riot Games right now mixes up with Microsoft with the Riot Games deal on PC, and they also have a Netflix deal with that animated show, which I have to admit is one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. If you're looking at what the gaming media is doing, yeah, they're trying to expand outside of gaming. They're trying to get their IPs out there to make more money. And why not have your own internal studios like Netflix can do to make this for you? That's where I think this is going. I think that Netflix and I think that Xbox might be talking, who knows? But overall, I think Microsoft really does want to get into the streaming service. And I know most people are saying this is impossible, but if you look at everything that's happened with Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, I don't think anything is impossible. I think Microsoft knows what they're doing, and I think they want to double down on the tech and the streaming services that are happening right now, because that's where the money is. And that's what's happening, and that's what's talked about right here in the article. Even a very basic and superficial surface level analyst presents some intriguing possibilities, but as Yahoo noted, an acquisition on this scale may even exceed Activision Blizzard itself. Netflix has a market cap of almost $80 billion right now, and Microsoft would undoubtedly have to pay a premium on top of that as well. Could it really happen? I think in the right circumstances, it potentially could happen, at least on the surface. There seems to be a lot of alignment when it comes to Microsoft streaming and entertainment aspirations. Microsoft had some interest in making entertainment during the launch of the Xbox One with its defunct Xbox Entertainment Studios, but that was almost 10 years ago at this point. But who knows? I never would have expected Microsoft to acquire Activision either, but here we are. And this is what I'm talking about. Everybody that's talking about this needs to realize that I don't think anything is out of scale. I don't think anything is out of scope for Microsoft or even Google or even Amazon. I mean, Amazon just bought MGM. They have all these movie rights now. They think own James Bond and all these other things that they can put onto their streaming service. It's all going towards something else, which is big companies trying to make more money and expand the users coming to their entertainment sites or to their sites in general. And that's what Microsoft wants. They don't have any streaming service. They have an amazing service in Xbox Game Pass that could potentially have tens of millions of people signing up and giving them an added revenue stream. But if you throw in a streaming service like Netflix or something like that into that service of Game Pass, and you make it one ecosystem where you have Xbox, Netflix, not to mention all of the Microsoft suite like Word and all those other things in it, you're looking at one of the best streaming services, or you're looking at one of the best valued services in the tech industry right now. And that's where Microsoft and everybody's looking at it. Not to mention, there's been rumors that Microsoft has been looking at Warner Brothers, or WB, because they have game studios and they have all those movie and TV shows with HBO Max. There's a lot of big business going on in the background, and I think we're going to see a lot of landscape changing across gaming and other medias for years on end. But overall, I'm excited to see what Microsoft's going to do. I'm excited to see what Netflix is going to do, because the competition for Netflix is ramping up. They're having some of the biggest industries like Warner Brothers, Disney, Amazon, and all these other big companies actually tread into their territory, take over a little bit. Netflix has been losing subscribers here and there. So it looks like it's a great time for somebody like Microsoft or big business to kind of come in and say, hey, you're struggling a little bit. We'll offer this much money for you. And bam, they have one of the best services in the industry, and they can group it with one of the best services in Xbox Game Pass. Either way, it's exciting to see, because I think in the next few years, these tech industries and these big businesses are going to go crazy with the amount of money they're going to spend, because the market is down right now. But overall, when it's low, people buy. But let me know what you think about this. Can you see Microsoft or Xbox buying Netflix just to have this service there? And can you see them taking some of the gaming IPs they have, like Gears of War, Halo, Forza, or whatever other gaming IP they have, and making movies and shows from it? Or do you see them partnering third party with Netflix just to get some shows out there instead of putting it on Paramount Plus? After the success of the Halo show on Paramount Plus, who knows? Maybe Microsoft wants to do it themselves. Not to mention, Sony's doing it with HBO and all these other shows that are coming out from their IPs. Go down below and let me know what you think. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been jumping into a lot of games, but mainly Blizzard games and Scarlet Nexus. So Scarlet Nexus I've been playing on the side. I'm having a good time with it. I'm playing it when I have some downtime, and I'm not really wanting to be in a party or talk to people, so I just play it with speakers on and I have a good time. It's not that bad of a game. I enjoy the combat, so I recommend you check it out. It's on Game Pass, and it's one of my first JRPGs I'm playing. But after that, I've been jumping into a lot of Blizzard games. I re-signed up for World of Warcraft Shadowlands. I'm leveling up all my characters to get to max level so I can get that expansion that's coming out later this year. And I've been playing StarCraft on the side with their campaign. I beat the entire Terran campaign. It took me about like 10 hours. And now I'm working through the Zerg campaign, and I'm having a blast. I love what Blizzard has. I love their IPs, and I do have to say they are my favorite developer by far and my favorite publisher by far for years. And I can't wait till Microsoft gets them so they can actually start getting some of these IPs in different games. And plus, I want to see what else they're working on. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox Series X, your PlayStation 5, or are you on your PC playing something? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for. It's to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.